A room fills with executives. The first slide appears, and half the crowd reaches for their phones. They are not rude, they simply know most talks deliver clutter, jargon, and no clear point. Attention drops when the speaker builds slides first, then tries to find a story later. Without a headline and a purpose, every detail competes, and listeners cannot discern what matters. When the point is unclear, decisions get delayed, teams argue, and good products lose support. A clear story and clean visuals change the outcome because people remember meaning, not slide density. Imagine a manager reading bullet points while the room watches the same words and stops engaging. Then, a few simple changes turn that meeting into a talk that earns attention and drives action. Next, you will learn how to plan in analog, craft headlines, design simple slides, and rehearse effectively. This video is inspired by The Presentation Secrets of Steve Jobs by Carmine Gallo. Subscribe for more speaking systems that win buy-in. Planning in analog involves sketching out the talk on paper first, making the plot visible before creating slides or demos. The process is called storyboarding, where each scene earns a place and only later becomes a slide or demo. This method prevents the common pitfall of filling templates with text, hoping for meaning to emerge later. When the story comes first, the audience follows a sequence, and transitions feel intentional rather than accidental. A product leader might sketch 3 columns on a board, mapping the problem, solution, and payoff in plain language. With the map in place, the slides remain sparse, allowing the speaker to focus on explaining key turning points. Treating a presentation like a story shifts the focus from decoration to clarity, which is the real advantage. Once the narrative is set, every chart, quote, and image has a job that supports the central idea. Before using any software, write 1 sentence stating the point, then list 3 supporting moments. Turn those moments into a simple storyboard, removing anything that does not move the audience forward. Every listener silently wonders why they should care, and the opening must address this by highlighting the benefits. The process involves translating features into tangible outcomes, explaining how the idea improves life or work in concrete terms. If this question remains unanswered, people will judge the talk as irrelevant and mentally disengage before the evidence is presented. When the benefits are clear, attention increases, and even complex information feels easier to process and remember. A speaker starts with a list of specifications, and the audience looks confused because the purpose is missing. Another speaker begins with a mission, then shows how each feature supports that mission, so the details land effectively. Purpose acts as an organizing filter, ensuring the message remains consistent, even when the content includes many parts. A passionate point of view also enhances credibility, as confidence sounds more believable when tied to a cause. Write the audience benefit as a single sentence, then refine it until a stranger could repeat it accurately. Next, state the larger purpose behind the idea, and let that purpose guide what you include. A headline is a concise sentence that captures the main idea and can be repeated verbatim. The process involves writing it like a social post, then building the talk so every section supports it. Clear headlines prevent information overload, as listeners know what to focus on and what to ignore. A 3-part roadmap reinforces memory, as people track beginnings, middles, and endings more easily than long lists. In a product reveal, the speaker announces 3 key points, then delivers them one by one without detours. The audience stays oriented because they know what is coming next and how far they have travelled. These structures turn persuasion into a sequence, not a dump of facts, making the idea feel inevitable. They also create natural time breaks, allowing the talk to reset attention before fatigue causes missed points. Draft 1 headline, then outline 3 sections that prove it, and test whether each section can stand alone. If you want punchier headlines and clearer roadmaps, subscribe to learn structures that audiences remember. Simplicity in slides means removing clutter until the screen supports the speaker instead of competing for attention. Replace bullet lists with images, short labels, and white space that guide the eye quickly. Visual memory is stronger than text recall, so pictures can anchor a message long after details fade. Even numbers become meaningful when paired with context and visuals, because raw statistics rarely persuade on their own. A presenter shows a single large photo and says 1 sentence, instead of projecting a paragraph of text. When the next slide displays 1 chart with a bold label, the audience can grasp the change in seconds. Clean visuals also make room for demonstrations, which turn abstract claims into concrete experiences people can judge. A well-timed surprise moment works because it is planned and scripted, not left to chance or improvisation. For each slide, keep one idea, remove extra words, and let the spoken line carry the meaning. When showing data, add one visual comparison or image and rehearse the demo so the impact is immediate. Great delivery is built through rehearsal, so confidence comes from practice rather than spontaneous inspiration. The process involves repeating the talk until timing, pauses, and gestures feel natural and consistent every time. Preparation reduces anxiety because the speaker can focus on the audience instead of recalling the next line. It also improves clarity, as practice transitions prevent rambling and keep the message aligned with the headline. One presenter reads from notes, keeps eyes down, and loses energy as the room senses uncertainty. Another presenter knows the flow, looks up, and uses the stage to guide attention toward the key visual. Stage presence supports the larger goal of persuasion because the audience trusts a speaker who seems prepared. A conversational style can still be disciplined, especially when the script is internalized and the slides stay simple. Rehearse out loud, record one run through, and fix the spots where you rush or hide behind filler. Then remove full sentences from your notes, leaving only cues so you can speak directly to people. The goal of a presentation is not to show knowledge, but to move an audience to understand and decide. This shift occurs when story, visuals, and delivery work together instead of competing for attention. Planning in analog sets the plot, and answering why anyone should care gives the talk its direction. Headlines, 3-part roadmaps, and short segments keep the message easy to follow from start to finish. Simple visuals protect working memory, and well-prepared demonstrations turn claims into real experiences. Rehearsal builds presence so the room feels the speaker has control, and the connection is genuine without sounding scripted. Start small by rewriting your opening as one benefit sentence. Then sketch 3 scenes that prove it. Next, rebuild your slides into visuals with one idea each, and remove any bullets that you read aloud. When you finish, add one memorable surprise or final line so the audience leaves with a clear takeaway. If you want every talk to feel clearer and more persuasive, subscribe and keep building these habits with me.